Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, Germany, that's a good thing, went in a begging tour, and it's the leaders of Germany, Olaf Scholz, the chancellor, and his team went in the Middle East and begged for natural gas, and they got some. They got some natural gas from a certain country over there, and they will pay extra for liquefied natural gas, but hey, you do what you need to do for your country, right? Correct. Okay. Because nobody pushed you into shooting yourself in the foot, but United States of America only. This article comes from Business Insider from September 26, 2022. Germany secures a natural gas deal with the United Arab Emirates as Berlin rushes to replace Russian supply before winter. Germany signed a natural gas deal with the UAE on Sunday as Europe scrambles to replace Russian supplies. So how are you going to do this? Aren't you afraid that you could be blackmailed by United Arab Emirates? I mean, you switch from one to another, but hey, do what you need to do. I guess you can bomb the Emirates, but you can't bomb Russia. The Abu Dhabi National Oil Company will send a LNG cargo to Germany utility RWE by the end of December. So by the end of December, guys, you gotta hold it tight, which you probably could because your reserves are about 80% filled. So you might be making it. Good. Russia has slashed its gas flows to Europe in response to Western sanctions over the Ukraine war. Germany signed a natural gas deal with the United Arab Emirates on Sunday as the European countries scrambled to find alternatives to cut off Russian energy imports before winter kicks in. Under the deal, German utility giant RWE will get liquefied natural gas from the Abu Dhabi National Oil Company delivered to its new floating gas terminal near Hamburg. The shipment of 137,000 cubic meters of LNG is expected to arrive by the end of December. I'm very curious to see if this article, which I didn't read, I'm just looking now, to see if what the price was for the Russian gas that they paid versus the LNG gas that they will get from these guys. I guarantee you it would be like 3 times more, but when I find out, I'll let you know. But we go with 3 times over, all right? So, Germany has been racing to secure energy imports from nations other than Russia as Moscow slashed its gas flow to the region in response to Western sanctions over Ukraine. The cutbacks in supply have sent European natural gas prices soaring more than 300% this year and have forced Germany to turn the alternative and cheaper sources of fuel like coal. So no more global warming again. Okay, that's done. That little thing is out the window because, you know, reality sets in. And I'm quoting, "This marks an important milestone in building up a LNG supply infrastructure in Germany and setting up a more diversified gas supply." Okay, the Abu Dhabi National Oil Company also made a multi-year commitment to deliver cargoes of LNG to Germany from 2023 onward, using both offshore and onshore regasification terminals as available. European countries are increasingly turning to high-tech floating terminals. That's good. Germany has chartered 5 floating storage and regasification units, with energy giant Uniper investing around $65 million on projects. Uniper now is partly owned by the German state. That means communism. You don't believe me? You'll see, little by little. You'll own nothing, but you will be happy. And I'm quoting, "We need to make sure that the production of LNG in the world is advanced to the point where the high demand that exists can be met without having to resort to the production capacity that exists in Russia." Well, these guys are going to take from... So there's the supply. Now, if you give this supply to these guys, that means... and then you take this and you give it to those, that means these remain without a supply, because it is how much it is. So this United Arab Emirates, they switched their gas from one market into the German market. And the Germans said in an article that I covered a few months ago, they will outbid anyone on that. Why? Because they have the bankers. Not that the European Union or Germany has the money. They don't have the money. They're not, otherwise they will be all prosperous. But no, they borrow the money from the international banking systems. They work with about 30 or something. Okay? We don't know who they are exactly, but we can find out. And that's what happens. They're going to outbid everybody else. So that means everybody else who tries to buy natural gas is not going to have it. It's like you have this glass and we're going to bid for it. I'm going to be the highest bidder. I take it. No glasses for you. Bye-bye. That's how we're going to be. All right. So let's go further here. The UAE is not the only alternative supplier that Germany has approached. RWE and Uniper are nearing agreements on long-term deals to buy LNG from Qatar. The same thing. But those deliveries wouldn't start until 2026. By then, populations froze. Dutch TTF futures, European benchmark natural gas price, were last down 6.2% to 173 euros per megawatt hour, $167 on Monday, as increased LNG supplies eases pressure on European situation. So they dropped 6.2% from 173.99 euros per megawatt hour to 167 on Monday. Well, that's good. That's good. But still, you are not out of the woodwork yet, because is or woods, whatever, is the same. Because you, the country, Germany will get gas, not enough yet, from these guys. That's going to be at a higher price. Who's going to pay that? For that? The German people. The German people will pay high because of the inflation and the scarcity of resources, in this case gas, will pay more, and they will also pay for the extra, the premium that these guys buy the gas for. And that's going to be, there will be loans secured with the international banking system to supposedly subsidize people. So let's say the gas price is from here to here, all right? And this is how it gets into Germany, this level. And then I say, okay, we can't give you this to the population because we're not going to be able to pay it. We're going to bankrupt you. So it will bankrupt you. So they're going to say, okay, we're going to cut this, and this is going to be paid by the government, subsidized, and you're going to pay only this, even more than you paid a year ago, which was this, right? 300% increase, right? So that's 1/3 right here. So boom, right here. So you're going to pay still more, but this is going to pay the government. But the government doesn't have the money because Germany is not a really So this is what's happening here with this. This money is going to be borrowed by the government in your name, in the German people's name, from banks with interest, and that's going to be paid by you again on a longer term. You, your children, your grandchildren. So you got shot in your foot anyway. You're going to have it for now. You're going to pay less, remember, less a little bit than the whole amount, but this, it's you who are going to pay as well later with interest, and your children and your grandchildren. So very easy, very good job. And the bankers are counting their money right there, and the politicians still in power, and they're going to put medals on their chests like, see, we solved the problem that you created, and is this the way you solved it? Long-term interest loans from these guys? Thank you very much. You gotta love democracy. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just. At least you got more gas.